What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chiefs Chat. Today we're going to be doing the game preview for the Chiefs versus Commanders, okay? Second game of the preseason. I'm super excited about this one, a nice Saturday afternoon game. That'll be pretty nice, and I'm pretty excited because I don't know if you guys heard the news, but the plan is to run the starters for the first half, the entire first half. Now, I don't agree with this. I really don't. I mean, if you guys remember from last season, when the preseason was going on, I was very, I was just like, because Andy Reid, he does this every year, it seems like. He really does like putting the starters out there during the preseason, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. Especially guys like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, these guys, they know how to play football. I understand wanting to get these guys together because, there's a lot of different players, and for that reason, I can understand maybe the first quarter, but the entire first half, I'm not a fan of that. And Chad Henne will have the day off, so maybe that is the reason as to why we're trying to kind of extend the period that the ones are out there on the field. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of what Coach Reid is doing right now. But I do, I support Andy Reid. He's a fantastic coach. He knows more than I do. But as of right now, that is the plan going into this contest against the Commanders. The ones are going to be out there for the entire first half. Now that's going to be interesting. Some things that I'm looking for the ones, I want to see them continue, build off of that momentum that they had against the Bears in that very first drive. Patrick Mahomes hitting every single player, 6 completions, and they were all to different receivers. That is something I want to see more of. Definitely something that I want to see happen consistently, because if that's the case, people are going to look at that tape and be like, how do we stop this team? How? That's definitely what people are probably thinking about the Kansas City Chiefs, now after that Bears game, because, we were just dominant in that first drive. It was fantastic. But I touched on this in the last episode, but another thing I definitely really want to see, I want to see a lot of running backs. I want to see a lot of carries. I want to see, Clyde Edwards-Helaire get a few carries. I want to see Isaiah Pacheco get a lot of carries. I want to see the battle, okay? This is the big positional battle, aside from the wide receivers. This is one of the biggest positional battles right now, for the Chiefs organization, and I want to see more. I definitely do want to see more. I think I definitely saw quite a bit in that last game against the Commanders. I saw quite a bit from the wide receivers. I wasn't being clear there, but I saw quite a bit from the wide receivers. I didn't see a lot from the running backs, and that's definitely what I want to see more of. Something I didn't touch base on, by the way, for the game recap of the Bears game. Sky Moore's looked fantastic. Sky Moore had a fantastic grab, a nice sideline grab. That was fantastic. It was really great to see. I think Sky Moore's going to be huge, but regardless, okay, let's focus on what's going on here with the Commanders. And again, I want to see more from the running backs. I want to see, Terrence Gore. I want to see him do a little bit more, because he really did struggle in that game against the Bears. I want to see him really start to do some more. I think he had a fumble. It's just like Derek Gore didn't have a great game, but it's okay. I want to see him try to regain some confidence, because I really do think he's a pretty solid guy. I'm not sure about him getting very many carries, honestly, with the amount of guys that we have in that running back room, but it'll be interesting to see if he can really bounce back from that performance, because that'll definitely be very, very telling. But again, I want to see Clyde. I want to see Clyde Edwards-Helaire, of course, and I want to see Ronald Jones. I haven't seen a lot of Ronald Jones yet in the Chiefs uniform. I want to see us really utilize him, especially in goal line situations. I want to see him just boom, because I know he's a freaking monster on the goal line. He can just boom, he can just pound through your defensive line. I want to see more of that, because that'll definitely make me feel a lot better about what's going on in the running back room. And of course, I want to see Isaiah Pacheco. I want to see if he's the real deal, because he's looking like the real deal. So definitely that's the number one thing I want to see against the Commanders, especially if we're having the ones out there for a long time. Let's see how these players are going to do against, the best of the best on that Washington defense. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And of course, in terms of defense, I want to see Chris Jones continue to dominate. He had a fantastic game against the Bears. I want to see him continue that. And I want to see more from these corners, because honestly, Justin Fields and Trevor Siemian, they were testing them quite a bit. And I want to see them rise to the occasion this time. I want to see them, especially going against Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke, those two guys, proven NFL starters in this league. Taylor Heineke started pretty much every single game for the Commanders last season. So I definitely want to see them try to test our cornerbacks a little bit more, just to see if we can really rise to the occasion, because Trent McDuffie had a solid day, but he wasn't targeted much. And then, of course, guys like L'Jarius Sneed just didn't really play very well. So there's a couple of other guys who I want to see try to bounce back. You know, a couple of young corners. You got Joshua Williams, you know, just a couple more of those guys who I really want to see get a few more reps, get a few more in-game reps, and I want to see how they respond to those. And then, of course, George Karlaftis, those guys, definitely want to see more from them. I really, really want to see more from Leo Chenal. I don't know if you guys have been keeping tabs on Leo Chenal. He didn't really play much, especially not with the ones in the game against the Bears. He's a guy who I thought, the second we drafted him, I thought he was going to be in there every single play. But it's interesting what we're doing with the defense. You know, I saw what we did with the defense in the game against the Bears, you know, with the one team, you know, with the first string players out there. And it was like a 2-4, and then everybody else, you know, we had corners and safeties back there. I think it's a pretty solid strategy. You know, I'm not like a huge X and O guy when it comes to football, but you know, I know that there's a typical 3-4 or a 4-3 defense. We're kind of getting rid of that, and we only have 2 linebackers on the field, and that's Willie Gay and Nick Bolton. I think it could be interesting because I definitely think that we need to do better at making sure we're stopping the passing game, because I think those 2 guys up front, Willie Gay and Nick Bolton, they're very, very good at stopping the run. So I'm a fan of the strategy, but unfortunately that does mean that Leo Chenal, he's not going to get very many reps, I feel like. And I want to see him get more. I definitely want to see him get more. So I didn't see much from him in the last game, but I want to see more. I want to see more from Leo Chenal. So, you know, that's pretty much how I'm feeling going into this game against the Commanders. I'm pretty excited. Once again, I'm always excited to watch Chiefs football, and I know you guys are too. So, you know, if you guys have a comment, make sure to drop it down below as always. And I will see you guys in the next Chiefs chat. Peace out.